Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Chop and Braves podcast today, hosted by me, Nathan Raju, and here, Palmer Ruth. Today, we're going to be doing the All NL West team. So we hope you enjoy. Here we go.
Alrighty. You want to kick us off with the catcher?
Don't you want to do manager first?
Oh, I'm ready. Managing the All NL West team. Straight out of Cali, Gabe Kapler.
Solid for the Giants. The Giants this year. Giants were
I mean,
probably the most surprising team out of everybody.
They won 107 games.
By far.
But he's bad in the playoffs, apparently.
Yep. Okay. Now we're going to start out with the catcher position. And for the catcher position, no one else except for Will Smith. Will Smith this season posted a .285 average with 25 home runs and 76 RBIs. Arguably one of the better catchers coming up in the league. I think in a few years he could probably take over the spot as the number one catcher.
Easily. He can field, he can hit, he can even run. And he can play a multitude of positions if they need him to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, ever since he's made it up to the league, I'm going to say in 2019, he's been the starting catcher for the best team in baseball in that span.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, he's probably my least favorite player on their team just because he's so good and so consistent at that position.
I'm sorry. Do you not remember Moogie Bets last year in the NLCS?
Yeah, I know, but like Will Smith, though, like still, he was like their only offense when they played the Braves. Other than Cody Bellinger, who finally wasn't high anymore during the postseason, so they started doing good.
Bro, he's insane.
All right, our next player, first baseman, another Dodger. The Dodgers are just sweeping these positions, man.
We're 2 positions in now.
Exactly. Not Will Smith, Max Muncy. 249 average. 36 bombs and 94 RBIs. Didn't even play the full. He did. He would probably post even bigger numbers. Was an MVP candidate for most of the season. And is arguably, some people said he was better than Freddie Freeman, but like I don't know about that one, but still.
We should pull up his OPS. His OPS was 819. His on-base percentage was 351. Dang. Oh wait, sorry, shoot, that's the wrong stats. My bad. His on-base percentage was 368, even more ridiculous. And he can play second and third if you really need him to in a pinch.
And he was hurt. That's the thing too. He was hurt towards the end of the season. Imagine if
he played against us in the playoffs.
That would not be fun.
No.
Nope. All right, you want to get the next player?
Alrighty. Our next player. He signed for a big deal to move out to the West Coast and to finally win some games. Straight from Miami, Manny Machado. He hit. I didn't really think he did well that last year until I saw these stats. He hit 278, 28 homers, 106 RBIs, plus playing Gold Glove defense at third base on an everyday basis.
The Padres didn't 106 RBIs. I was not expecting that.
Especially with the Padres not playing up to expectations. I kind of thought it was his fault, but I was wrong. It's that pitching and bullpen.
Tatis and Machado just carried the squad this year.
I know.
Their pitchers just didn't help at all.
No.
Like, look at you, Darvish.
Look at this field. He had a 4.2. Boom.
Their pitching just wasn't there. Everyone expected them to be like a dark horse or someone in the playoffs, but
they weren't a dark horse. They were the horse.
The horse, yes.
Look at that play by Manny.
The light horse, not the dark horse.
Exactly. Now, before we move on to shortstop, I just want to give out an honorable mention for shortstop, Trey Turner. He was an MVP candidate, led MLB in hits. He runs, he fields, he hits. Last year, Trey Turner hit for 338. Once he got traded to the Dodgers, he was just, you couldn't stop him. 5th in MVP. He led the league in total bases and batting average and hits and stolen bases. He led NL in stolen bases. But he's still not the starting shortstop for the All NL West team. That honor goes to Mr. Trey Turner. I meant Fernando Tatis.
None other than Mr. Fernando Tatis Jr. Man dropped 42 bombs, switched positions. He still can't field. No. He still can't field to save his life, but he batted .282 with 97 RBIs. Here's the thing, though. When someone hits
42 home runs in 130 games.
Yeah, that's insane.
If he had played 30 more games, he easily would have hit 50. Plus, he has potential to go 40-40. He could win a Gold Glove sometime in the future at shortstop. I still believe in him.
Gold Glove? Are you sure about that? Gold Glove?
Yes. Bro, Gold Glove is the most biased voting ever. And all they need to see is a couple of dives and some cannon throws and one Derek Jeter throw, and he has that in the bag. He's flashy. He's fun. And, hey, he beat Manny Machado in that fight last year in the dugout.
All right, well, now we got the second baseman. Another Padre. Very underrated, but he still had a monster year. Jake Cronenworth. Nasty play right there.
Snake Cronenworth. Great Cronenworth.
Cronenworth. 266 average, 21 bombs, 71 RBIs. Great year for Jake. And I think, honestly, he's up there with Ozzie Albies and the other people up there for top second basemen in the league. Doesn't get enough credit on the Padres because he plays with Machado and Tatis, but he's definitely up there as one of the top second basemen in the league.
It's crazy. He came up as a two-way player out of Michigan. People thought that he had higher potential as like a relief pitcher, but he's burst onto the scene as a second baseman. So I don't think he's going to be pitching much for the Padres in the near future.
They might need the help, though. I mean, if they keep going where they're going, they're going to really need some help.
The White Ohtani, maybe?
Ooh. I mean, my MLB The Show player, I think, is a little better than Shohei, though.
Ooh, you're pretty.
Yep. He dropped 120 home runs last season.
Damn.
0.07 ERA. That's a little better than Shohei. Just a little.
I don't know. Is he also fast? See, look, Jake even hits off Trevor Bauer. I mean, just spectacular.
Are we allowed to mention his name on this podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to copyright strike us. There he is pitching. I mean, now we're moving on to the outfield. And before I started this, I thought this position was going to be way more stacked than it actually was. Like, when you think about the NL West, you think every player is insane. But their outfield's kind of bad, not going to lie.
I mean, it's not bad, but like, if this was on one team, they would be good. Like, if this was an actual team. This is
5 teams, so.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Starting it off in left field, AJ Pollock. He almost hit 300 last year. He hit 297, 21 tanks, 69 RBIs. Probably not playing every day for that Dodgers lineup. Because they'll slot in Chris Taylor in there. They'll put Gavin Lux in center field because why not? We're the Dodgers. And he still put up those numbers. It's kind of insane.
I mean, his specialty against the Braves was those little bloop singles that would score 2 runs. But, like, he's still a really solid left fielder. He'll start anywhere except for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and I think most Dodgers fans hate him, and some fans don't have the greatest reputation of him in their head just because he's got that big deal and then was injured for 2 years. But ever since he signed that deal, I mean, he's been fine.
I mean, 21 home runs. How many games did he play?
I have Ketel Marte's stats up. I'm getting ready for the next guy.
Let's see.
Last year, he played 117.
117. So he could have definitely hit 25, 26 home runs.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Maybe he could maybe touch 30 if he played every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was banged up towards the beginning of that season, I remember.
Yeah. All right, well, you've already spoiled it, but onto the center fielder, none other than Ketel Marte. 318 average. Pretty nasty. Tell me some more about him, Palmer.
No, you go the rest of the stats, and I'll ask you a question.
All right. Ketel Marte, 318 average. 14 home runs. 50 RBIs. Nasty. He's crazy fast.
All right. Guess how many games he played last year?
Oh.
With those stats. Huh? How many?
Let's see. How many home runs did he drop? 14, I think, in 90 games.
On the nose. He played 90. Let's go.
90 games.
You're on your A game today.
Oh, yes, sir.
Also,
so how many home
definitely
runs?
was
That's
baseball
90,
reference.
160, 56.25. Give me a second. Got doing some math here.
He was 43% better than a league average player in hitting last year, according to OPS Plus. People forget. In 2019, he was 4th in MVP voting. He plays the outfield and he can play second base. He's a really good player for that lousy team out in Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, the 50 RBI show you, man. He just carried their team for 90 games?
Yeah.
Imagine if he played a full season. He would have easily, especially with the better team. The Diamondbacks aren't getting anyone on base. Who is he going to hit in?
It's Pavin Smith.
Exactly. Nobody. All right. Well, next on to the next outfield spot. Another Dodgers player. Probably a top 10 player, but didn't have his best season in his standards. Moogie Bets.
My least favorite team on the Dodgers, even though I do have a t-shirt jersey of his. Last year, he hit 264, 23 tanks, only 58 RBIs. That seems really low, but I think he led off for them, so that kind of justifies it. But Acuna led off for the Braves, and he still put up a ton of RBIs in even less games.
Yep.
Plays platinum glove defense and anywhere in the outfield. He can even play second base if he really want to. He'll walk.
A freak athlete.
Doesn't strike out. He's only like 5'10". He's short as well. And he plays with energy and is very passionate. But he's never too showy about it.
Yep. Let's look at this. Ronald Acuna in his first half of the season, right? He hit 283, 24 home runs, and 52 RBIs.
Holy shit!
He almost put
how good Acuna was.
He put the same numbers as Moogie Betts in half a season.
Yep.
And they both play elite defense in the outfield.
Yep. They both have cannons of an arm.
But I think Moogie Betts is a slightly better bowling player. He plays better.
Oh yeah.
He's better at bowling.
For sure. Man, I love Moogie's swing. It's smooth. You get that inside fastball and just turn on it.
Of course. It's just smooth, got a nice load right to the ball.
And he's great
fast.
in the clutch. I mean, him in the NLCS against the Braves last year, that traumatized me.
Yep, PTSD.
All right, now we're moving on to the starting pitchers. Leading us off, we have the man who carried the Giants in the playoffs. No, not very far. And he hit a homer in the game where they clinched the division. Mr. Logan Webb.
Stroked.
You want to mute that?
Who checks the runner?
Is it not muted?
No, yeah, you gotta mute it on the.
It's muted for me.
Got him.
It's muted for me. I can't hear
there
it.
There you go. Now we go. All right, now we're better.
All right.
Now we can talk about
Webb.
Logan Webb. Nasty. Underrated. Great year. 3.03 ERA. It was actually, I thought it would be way better compared to, because he broke out in the second half. 11-3 record and a 3.9 WAR. I mean, he was just nasty for them in the back end of that season. Clinching. He carved up the Dodgers. Carved them up.
Oh, yeah.
In the last few games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has a great pitch mix. I mean, There's really nothing that you can say bad about this guy.
I'm just surprised. Yeah, I'm just surprised
he hits tanks.
Yeah, I know. I'm just surprised he didn't do better earlier.
I mean, in the Giants' two most important games, 162 where they had to win to clinch it, he went 7 shutty, and he even hit a tank. Exactly. And then in the NLCS, he went, I'm going to say 7 1/3, maybe one run against the Dodgers. He's just insane.
Anybody who can go 5, 6, 7 innings without allowing any runs to the Dodgers, they're good.
Yeah. He's just insane. All right.
Great year.
Moving on, we have a guy who I kind of thought he had a down year until I looked at his stats. Now, out of out of Vandy, Southern boy. Where's Ferris Bueller? No, I'm joking.
Dansby Swanson's roommate.
Oh, yeah.
Walker Bueller.
Tight pants Bueller, baby. Look at that. It's gorgeous.
Of course. And, he was a Cy Young candidate for the majority of the season.
Yep. He had some, blister issues, I think. Kind of like Max Fried had a couple of years ago. And then they tried to, limit his pitching, kind of like what they did with Scherzer and everything at the end of the year last year to prepare for playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But he still was... He had a 2.47 ERA, 16-4, and he had a 6.7 WAR. That's insane.
6.7.
And he wasn't. Where was he in Cy Young voting this year?
I don't think he was up there, but he definitely should have.
He wasn't top 5, I don't think. Maybe he was 5th. I don't know. Alrighty.
Wait! Before we skip off of him, I would like to show you my Can you unshare real quick? I would like to show you my favorite moment.
Oh yeah.
If you know this moment,
unmute it. I need to hear it.
Gift, and you know what? As Acuna learns, you got to stay in there. Don't drop the bat.
I love
the
that
bad
umpire.
call. The bad call right there.
I love the umpire.
Even though that pitch.
Bro, and Sean Newcomb walked to get on base.
Yeah, that's actually underrated, bro. Sean Newcomb drawing a walk there.
Bro, Nuke, that's the best moment he had as a Brave.
All right, here we go.
The 3-1, and Acuna swings. It's a high drive to left center field. Taylor
I get chills.
Gone.
Boom.
Grand slam for Acuna.
I mean, he's just, Bueller's not good in the clutch, I guess.
Oh.
That's all I can say.
Oh, yeah.
All right, our next guy, another Los Angeles Dodgers, Mr. Julio Urias. He led the league in wins last year. He had 20 wins, and not only did he have 20 wins, he had a 2.96 ERA, and he somehow only put up a 4.7 WAR. He's nasty lefty. A lot of people. He's only 26, but he's been up in the league for 7 years. They've used him out of the bullpen. We closed out the World Series game last year, and he'd kind of been getting really underrated until this year. He was in the full-time starting role once, the injuries to Dustin May and the whole Trevor Bauer situation, and he showed up in a big-time way.
20 wins. He accounted pretty much for 20% of the Dodgers' wins this year.
That's crazy to think about. And what about how many decisions, right?
20%, one player just being nasty on the mound. It's crazy. Do you know what his contract is?
He's just on arbitration.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because, if he goes to free agent, yeah, he's 1 year, $1 million. But, imagine, he's going to get paid a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. All righty. Anything else? I guess that's moving on. You can do the honors to announce this man.
Well, we all know there was a bunch of no-hitters this season, especially at the beginning, especially with all that sticky stuff. This guy probably benefited off the sticky stuff, but he was still nasty. Mr. Joe Musgrove.
No, Joe, baby.
Yes, sir. 3.18 ERA. I actually thought it would be a little better, but still 3.18 is really good.
I thought it was going to be in the 4s, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. I think he kind of struggled a little bit towards the end of the season, but still had a great year. 11-9, 3.5 WAR, nasty curveball, as you can see. I mean, look at this. Almost
that
all
slider.
Look at that. Every single strikeout we're seeing here.
Holy! Ooh. If you're listening on audio, come over to YouTube right now and watch these highlights.
Bro, you're seeing all these highlights right here for all the players. You gotta watch live, man. Watch live.
Watch live on YouTube. Then go Spotify or Apple Podcasts and download it. You gotta watch on both.
Of course, you gotta watch live. You just need those. You need extra video features, man. You gotta subscribe for this stuff.
Yep, only the highest quality content.
Of course.
Alrighty, moving on to the man, He helped lead one of the most improbable stories in MLB this year, the rise of the Giants. Mr. Disco Discofani. I mean, after he came out from the Reds,
Great highlight. Can we talk
this
about
was
that
a great first pitch. He came from the Reds free agency, 1 year, nothing deal. Came out shoved, enough to reward them to give him a 3-year contract. He had a 3.17 ERA. He went 13-7, and he had 3.9 WAR.
Pretty much identical to Joe Musgrove. Let's just look at that real quick.
Hey, Disco Discofani was better. What can I say?
Yeah. All right, the next year. Here's a little bit of like an honorable mention, kind of iffy kind of thing here. We're going to give the last starting pitcher role to Clayton Kershaw.
This isn't even a starting pitcher. We've already had a full 5. This is like an honorable mention.
Yeah. Clayton Kershaw. I mean,
why is this first I let him hit him?
I don't know. All right, Clayton Kershaw. He's old, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's still nasty.
He's not old. He's only 33.
He's old. All right, whatever. He's
curveball.
Nasty though. He's probably gonna re-sign with the Dodgers. He's kind of like a Freddie Freeman player, where he's probably just gonna stay home. He's just gonna stay home. He's the face of the Dodgers. He's the face of the Dodgers. Like where they're drafted, brought up. That's the Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers.
Of course.
All right.
They either draft them or they trade for them like when they're bad, like Chris Taylor and Max Muncy.
Yeah, like if you just want to revive your career, you just go to them. If you want to win a World Series, you go to the Dodgers. You know what I mean?
Dodgers didn't even win a World Series this year. I mean, come on.
They haven't won a World Series period. No one's counting
the Mickey Mouse
last year. Yes.
So if the Braves would have won, you would not have counted it.
No, of course I would have counted it. It's the Braves, bro. It's the Dodgers. That's why no one counts it.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, the 1995 World Series then should have been a Mickey Mouse World Series.
What? How?
Yeah. That was the one off the strike. I'm pretty sure it was a strike.
1994. 1994, but they canceled the World Series.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like 1995, like the year after or whatever.
So that means this year's a Mickey Mouse? The year after the COVID pandemic?
Oh, well. Okay. Now,
let's move on to the bullpen.
To relievers now. We're going to start off with an ex-Brave. He was nasty this season. Was nasty last season. He's just nasty. Mark Melancon. Did he lead the league in saves?
He did.
He did. How many home runs? Sorry, how many saves?
I'm sorry. I'm going to say 39.
39 saves. 2.23 ERA. A 2.1 WAR. He led the league in saves by like a bunch. I think near the All-Star break, he was sitting around 25. Something like that.
Yeah, he kind of fell off in the second half.
The Padres fell off.
Yeah.
Their entire team. I mean, the Padres were just a disappointment. That's crazy. All right. Next on the list. You want to introduce him?
Hold on. Let me get on the list. Next on the list, the nastiest pitcher in MLB. And I will say that with full confidence. Is Blake Treinen.
Is he nastier than Gratterall, though?
That's close. But I'd say he has more of an ability to locate, which affects nastiness.
Okay. I can accept that. Look at these pitches right here.
He's so nice.
Sub-2 ERA. Sub-2. 1.99 ERA. 7 saves, but he wasn't really the save guy for them. He was like a 7th, 8th inning reliever. Still 7 saves. 2.4 WAR.
That's more than Melancon.
But that ERA, bro.
I think it's crazy. They got Treinen for nothing. Remember, Treinen had that electric, I think, 2018. It was bad in 19. Mm-hmm. And Dodgers got him for like, I'm going to say like a 2-year or something. It was nothing. And he's absolutely nasty. Remember when China was on the Nationals?
Was he?
Yeah, he was traded to the Athletics in the Sean Doolittle and Jesus Luzardo trade.
Okay, I remember on the Athletics. I don't remember him on the Nationals.
Yeah.
All
He was
right,
like their fifth inning guy.
Fifth inning? Now he's like a seventh, eighth inning guy.
And that was a ninth inning guy on any other team than the Dodgers.
Exactly, man. The Dodgers are just stacked. They were the only team for a while whose team ERA was below 3.
Yeah. I just love Dodgers will go look at anyone.
Yeah, they got the deep pockets.
It's kind of like how the Rams have been this year. Like, Odell Beckham's available. I'll take him. Von Miller? Sure, why not?
You know, I mean, sign Antonio Brown next.
This year, Dodgers have Tommy Kenley's coming back because they signed him. You know, they just go and get those low reliever guys who have been good in the past, and they break out again, basically. They reemerge.
Okay, on to the next guy. This guy's a bit of a, let's see, how do you call this?
Former Dodger.
Current
Giant. Jake
Mcgee.
I mean, it's a lefty. 2.72. 31 saves. Only a 1 WAR. That seems weird. I don't know. Where are you getting WAR from? This F WAR?
This is normal WAR.
There's 2 different types of WAR. There's F WAR and B WAR.
This is just WAR.
Okay, whatever.
But crazy, 96 from the left side is oof.
And that's like those 100.
That is true. That's why they're both nasty pitchers.
Yo.
But still, had a great year. Probably will still continue to have a great year after this. How old is he? He seems old.
He's like 33, 34. He's pretty old.
Did you know in 2020 he threw a fastball 97% of the time?
Yeah, he only throws fastballs. He's kind of like Lance Lynn in that sense.
Okay. Next player. Would you like to introduce him, Palmer?
Another guy who used to be in the Nationals bullpen. You know, apparently this is the tie to some of these players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you may not hear a lot about him. He's kind of he kind of was their Jesse Chavez, but he pitched more. Craig Stammen for the San Diego Padres. Last year, he had a 3.06 ERA. Wow, you're really getting some old videos of him. Look at those old Padres jerseys. Whatever.
Oh, look at that behind the bag.
Ooh, he's nice with it. 6-3, no saves, I guess, and a 1.5 WAR.
He was good this season. I mean, 3.06 ERA. I mean, he's around league average, but not even league average. But
3.06 is not league average. What?
Sorry, Palmer. Please don't hurt me.
Hold on. Let's find this. Seasons. Oh gosh, what have I just found myself into?
All right, I'm gonna go around and hit you with the next pitcher. The worst pitchers to face are submarine pitchers. Now, we have one right here for you.
The rising slider himself.
Tyler Rogers.
Average ERA last year was a 4.15. Craig Stammen's way better than average.
You should look at this. It's nasty. How do you hit this?
I don't know. But brothers of Trevor. No, it's not Trevor. There's another Rogers. What's the guy? Rogers on the Twins.
No, there's a guy. Is that his brother?
Yeah, the one on the Twins. Okay. Lefty on the Twins. His brother's been good for the past 4 years, kind of. And this has been Tyler Rogers' breakout year, along with the breakout Giants.
He had a 2.22 ERA.
2.2.
7-1. Wasn't a starter, but still had a 7-1 ERA and 2.4 WAR.
He was their 8th inning guy, and then it was Mcgee. I don't know. The Giants I'm sure he opened a bit and everything. They just did everything.
The Giants were just really good last year, and it's just crazy
how they didn't do anything in the playoffs.
Exactly, man. The Dodgers were just like, all right, we'll let you be happy, come up here and get all hype and everything. Then we'll just absolutely sit on you. And another honorable mention, or kind of that like that, we have Kenley Janssen as we just said, from the Dodgers. Kenley is a free agent, but we'll see where he goes.
Nasty cutter. I mean, he's
one of
been
the best
good for
pitchers
the
in
past
baseball.
10 years. It's the second best cutter in baseball. I think that's pretty unanimous.
Mm-hmm.
Emmanuel Clase unseated him. I guess Kenley had the best cutter for like 2 years. After Janssen retired and before Clase. After Mo retired and before Clase.
I'm pretty sure there was someone else who had the best cutter. Oh, no.
Well,
You're right.
it was
You're right.
Mo
You're right.
had one. He's been shutting down the ninth inning for them for a long time. He has some mess ups like in the World Series last year with Brett Phillips, but he's still. I mean, I don't know if you went over his stats because I was kind of blanked out, but 38 saves, 2.22, same as Tyler Rogers, and he's 34 by now, so he's just been doing really well for a long time. He's very impressive.
Great year for Kenley Janssen. So pretty much all the Dodgers pitchers this year. All right, you want to summarize real quick?
What are we summarizing?
Let's go down the team. We got Gabe Kapler, manager. Will Smith, catcher. Max Muncy at first base. Jake Cronenworth at second base. Manny Machado at third. Honorable mention, Trey Turner at short. We got Fernando Tatis. AJ Pollock in left field. Ketel Marte at center. And Moogie Bets in right field.
The starting rotation for the all NL West team. Logan Webb as the kind of head of the staff. Then Walker Buehler. Julio Urias. Nono Joe Musgrove. Anthony Disco Desclafani. And a honorable mention to Clayton Kershaw.
Now we got the bullpen, the arm barn, as they call it. Mark Melancon, Blake Trinan, Jake Mcgee, Craig Salmon, Tyler Rogers, submarine guy, and honorable mention, Kenley Janssen.
Eddie, that's the team.
That's the team, man. So we got one more thing we got to talk about today.
Hold up, one last thing. If there's anything you thought we got wrong, leave it in the comments, whatever. No.
Yeah. There is going to be a post on Chop and Braves, so just keep an eye out for that.
Keep
Leave
your eyes
thoughts in
tuned.
the comments. Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. One last thing. I think I know where you're going. Ken Rosenthal.
I think you do
getting
too,
fired by MLB Network.
Fired. Gone.
I never liked Ken Rosenthal. I don't know why. But this is just because you critique the head of MLB shouldn't mean that you should get fired. This isn't like North Korea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but let's see. Would someone get fired for talking out against their boss? No one likes Rob Manfred.
What did he even say? I need to find these quotes.
Yeah, what did he say? But I think you've seen Tyler Matzek's tweet, right?
Yeah. Well, Ken Rosenthal said these things during the whole COVID 2020. Hold up, I'm finding it out. Oh,
right,
yeah.
I'll read Matzek's tweet real quick.
Hold up. Ken Rosenthal, June 16th, 2020, came out with an article on The Athletic called "Manfred Must Strike a Deal with the Players or Ruin His Legacy." And that is what Rob Manfred's upset about. And this is true. From last year.
It's true.
Yep. I don't know. He won't take honesty.
I would like to read Tyler Matzek's tweet real quick. Ken Rosenthal stands at 5'4.5", but still towers over Rob Manfred. Fire one of the premier reporters in baseball because he critiques you. That's his job.
I mean, it's been weird. MLB Network fired Chris Rose. Now they fired Ken Rosenthal. They're just confusing. Mm-hmm. A couple other MLB notes around the past week. Cameron Maybin retired, former Brave back in 2015. He was in that BJ Upton deal to get rid of him. And then one thing breaking out of today, Mets are hiring Joey Cora as the third base coach. He was the third base coach for the Pirates for the past 5 years. I really have no idea if he's any good. I know one thing, he's not as good as Ron Washington, who's the best third base coach in the league.
Bro,
But
those sends in the playoffs, man.
he's nice with it. I mean, we'll see how the Mets do next year. Alrighty. I think that's all we have to cover. And I have lagged. Okay, we have lost in. Well, thank you for... Oh, we got him back. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank you for watching this podcast. Another Choppin' Braves podcast, the second one. And I don't know, Nick, do you have anything to say before we leave?
We hope you all enjoyed. And follow us. Follow Choppin' Braves on Instagram. Follow the pod. Subscribe. And let's get it.
Alrighty. Go Braves.
Go Braves.